All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something huge that just dropped from OpenAI. It's their new model, GPT 5.4. And look, this isn't just a small step up. They're pitching this as a professional AI copilot that can literally do your work for you. So let's get into what that actually means. For the longest time, we've thought of AI as, well, a chatbot, right? Something we talk to, a brilliant conversationalist. But what if it could do more than just talk? What if it could stop just talking and start doing things on your behalf? That's the huge question OpenAI is trying to answer with this release. So here it is, the official word from March 5th. And the key phrase here, the one you really need to focus on, is designed for professional work. This is a huge signal. We're moving beyond just making better chatbots and into the world of a tool built specifically to handle the messy, complicated, multi-step stuff you do at your job every single day. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at its new role as a professional assistant. Then we get to the really mind-blowing part, how this AI can actually use your computer. After that, we'll check out some of the smarter tools under the hood for developers. And finally, we'll cover the essentials, how to get it, what it costs, and the safety side of things. All right, let's jump into our first section. How is GPT 5.4 built to be your new professional assistant? And how is it going to fundamentally upgrade what we all call knowledge work? The stuff you do at your desk all day. Okay, let's get straight to the data, because this chart says a lot. It's showing a benchmark that tests the AI on real professional tasks. Think building a sales deck or a financial model. Now, the previous model, GPT 5.2, was already really good, winning against a human pro about 71% of the time. But just look at that jump for 5.4, all the way up to 83%. I mean, that's a huge leap. We've crossed a major threshold here. The AI is now consistently outperforming actual human professionals on these complex jobs. And look, it's not just about some abstract benchmark. People out in the industry are seeing it firsthand. The CEO of Mercor, Brendan Foodie, points out exactly where it shines. Those long horizon deliverables. We're talking about those really big, complex projects, building an entire presentation from scratch, creating a whole financial model. The kind of stuff where older AI models would just fall flat on their face. So let's dig into these upgrades a little more. First step, spreadsheets. It's now scoring over 87% on tasks a junior analyst would do. That's a massive jump from the last version. Next, presentations. Human reviewers actually preferred what the AI made 68% of the time, saying it just looked better. And maybe most important of all, documents. A 33% drop in false claims. That means you can actually trust it more, which is absolutely crucial. All right, so all of that is pretty impressive, right? But now we get to what might be the single biggest game changer in this entire release. Section 2. This AI can actually use your computer. It's a true AI copilot. And let's be super clear here. This is a first for a model like this from OpenAI. It has native computer use capabilities. It's not just spitting out code for you to run. No, it can actually click the buttons and type on the keyboard for you. So, you might be wondering, how on earth does this work? Well, it's actually a pretty straightforward process. First, the model basically takes a screenshot and sees your screen. Second, it figures out what it's looking at, all the buttons, the text, the icons. Third, it actually sends mouse and keyboard commands, just like you would. And finally, it uses those commands to move around in your apps and get stuff done. Think about it. It's like someone is remote controlling your computer, but that someone is an AI. And if you're not convinced, just look at this. On a benchmark for navigating a computer desktop, its success rate is 75%. That's incredible. But the kicker here is that it's now better than the average human, who scores around 72%. For these tasks, the AI is officially better than us at using a computer. Let that sink in for a minute. So the big question is, how is all this even possible? Let's pull back the curtain a bit in Section 3 and see what's going on under the hood with some of the smarter developer tools. Okay, one of the key innovations here is something called tool search, and an analogy is probably the best way to get it. Imagine the old way was like forcing the AI to lug around a giant toolbox with every single tool it might ever need. It's heavy, it's slow, it's inefficient. The new way? It just gives the AI a key to a huge warehouse. When it needs a screwdriver, it just runs in, grabs a screwdriver, and comes back. Way more efficient. And in this slide, it just lays it all out. The old way meant jamming every possible tool into the prompt, which made everything slow and expensive and just cluttered things up. This new tool search is fast, it's efficient, and it means the AI can work with way more tools without slowing everything down. And the result of this new approach?
What does it actually mean in practice? A huge 47% reduction in tokens, that's the data it processes, on a key test. For anyone building with this stuff, that means one thing. It's cheaper and it's faster. Simple as that. But wait, there's more. The upgrades don't stop there. It's now matching top-level coding performance, but with less of a delay. It's getting way better results on tricky front-end design tasks. It even has this new skill for visual debugging. And on top of all that, its ability to search the web as part of a task is up 17 points. All in all, it's just a massive step up for anyone trying to build things with AI. All right, let's get down to brass tacks, the part I know you've all been waiting for. Section 4, the practical stuff. How you can get your hands on it, how much it's going to cost, and how they're trying to keep it safe. So, the big news? You can start using this thing like right now. It's available for anyone with ChatGPT Plus, Team, and Pro. For developers, you can get at it through the API and Codex. Oh, and get this. The context window, it's now up to 1 million tokens. That is an absolutely massive amount of space for handling huge documents or really long projects. Okay, let's talk money. So if you just look at the table, you'll see the per token price is a little bit higher than the last version. But, and this is really the key takeaway here, OpenAI says that because it's so much more efficient, the total cost for a job is often lower, just because it gets the same work done using way fewer tokens. Now, obviously, giving an AI the keys to your computer, that comes with some pretty serious questions, right? So OpenAI is making it clear they're focused on safety. They've classified this thing as having high cyber capability and are putting extra monitoring and controls in place to try and prevent any misuse. And I think this quote from the CEO of Zapier really just nails it. He calls it the most persistent model to date. He says it finishes the job where other models would have just thrown in the towel and given up. That persistence, that ability to not quit, that's the real game changer here. And that really brings us to the final question, the one I want to leave you with. This technology isn't a chatbot anymore. It's an agent that can run your software. So think about it. When this thing is on your computer, ready to go, what's the very first thing you're going to ask it to do?